Yeah.
Hello, I'm Brittney Hayden, and I'm going to show you how to properly take off a prosthetic leg. First what I like to do, I take off my shoe. My crappy shoe, I know, but it's one of my favorites, so let me take it off. Take it off, and use a strap, and take off the pants. Because you don't want to take off your prosthetic leg with your pants on. It's not a very pretty sight. First thing, take off the pants with the leg, with the real leg. And then what you want to do, pull this down, because this is my fake skin, I call it. Then I have a little button right here, if you can zoom in. This button has caused me the worst problems ever with my prosthetic leg. Mainly because of the fact that when one of these things, because there's two buttons actually, there's this one right here, if you can see, and there's one down here as well. One of these go out of line. Oops, like that. One of these go out of line. My leg will pop off. Doesn't matter where I am or what time, it will just pop off. This happened to me 3 times. Twice I was at a movie theater. One, I was in the movie theater walking out of it, and it popped off on me. The other one was I was walking into a movie theater in the middle of a parking lot. Almost got ran over by a car. And the second one, or my third one, I don't really remember, but all I know is that it popped off. It was really bad. So what you do is you simply push this in, like so, and it'll just slowly come off. And then I have one leg again. And what happens is that I wear this for protection, because the leg can irritate my skin. Because it irritates my skin, it can cut me, and if it cuts me, I can't wear it, because then that hurts. So I wear this for protection. Under this, I have this thing right here. It actually connects to the leg. You look inside the leg, you look a little hole. That's how I'm connected to the leg. Then properly take this off, and I am done with that one. Simple as pie. Then I simply get dressed into my skirt. Yay! And I'm done with that. I was born and raised in California, and I was diagnosed with cancer when I was 7. It all started when I actually fell. I was at my dad's baseball game, and I fell off the bleachers. And a couple months before that, I was complaining of my knee hurting because it was diagnosed in my knee. And my parents thought nothing of it. They just assumed it was growing pains since I was so young. And I was supposed to be growing, but of course I didn't grow very much. I'm only 5'1". But yeah, and so later that night after I fell, my mom was actually washing my body up and noticed that I had a bump on my knee. She said it looked like a bruise but felt like a bone. She wanted to touch it. So that night she got a little itsy about it, so she went into the hospital, the emergency room. So I went to the emergency room. The doctors weren't quite sure what it was, so I took about 150 x-rays that night. And I remember this is all about 11 o'clock at night, so I'm dead tired. So this whole time I'm pretty much sleeping through the whole x-rays. When the doctors came back with the results, they couldn't tell us what was going on. They wanted us to go to a children's hospital. So the doctor came in and went up to my mom and said, "We can't tell you what's going on, but what we can tell you is that it's serious and that you need to go to the children's hospital the next day." Well, my mom was furious. She was extremely angry because of the fact they couldn't tell what was wrong with her little girl. So after she got this huge flight with the doctors, we finally went home, and I got up early the next morning and I went to the emergency room at the Chalk Hospital. Well, we waited there all day. The only time they actually called my name, I actually went out to eat for lunch, which was right across the street, and my mom went up to the nurse's office and told them not to call my name because I'll be out. So of course, what they do, they call my name. Retards, I swear. But it's totally fine. So then I had to wait an extra 4 hours after that because they had to put me back at the end of the line, which was gay, but it's totally fine. But once they called my name, it was about 8 o'clock at night, and right when I walked into the room, there was about 6 nurses and about 5 doctors. So just imagining being 7 years old and walking in, seeing like all these doctors and nurses, and not having any idea what's going on. Terrifying. Well, the doctors all went around and introduced themselves, and they did little measurements on my knee and stuff like that. And then after that, they took me back down to the X-ray room to give me about another 50 X-rays, I believe. When I came back up, the doctors were talking to my mom. My mom was just like flabbergasted. She had no idea what was going on. She just got down to the point. She's like, "Please tell me what's going on with my daughter." So the doctors were like, "Okay, well, I'm doctor of the bone." And my mom's like, "I have no idea what that means. My daughter didn't break a leg. What's going on?" And then the doctor was like, "Well, I'm doctor of blood," I think he said. And my mom's like, "Well, my mom's like, well, you don't have AIDS. What's going on?" And finally the doctor says, "Well, I'm a doctor of cancer." And my mom just blew up right there, and she started crying, and I had my grandpa with me at the time too, and he started crying, and right after that, they took me out of the room, because everyone was hysterical that was in there. So they took me out of the room, and I went and I played on the little playground. Well, they sat there and I talked to my mom about what I had. I had osteosarcoma, which is a type of bone cancer that was in my knee, and what has happened with that was that it was eating away at my bone. So if I were to fall, well, luckily I didn't, when I fell that last time, nothing happened. But when I fell, I would have broken my knee in half, and I would have been amputated right there, and it would have spread the cancer to my lungs, because that's the second site it would have spread to. So when they found out that I was playing on the playground, everyone freaked out, ran out and got me, and then right from there, I went straight to the hospital that night, and everyone was able to go home and pack. And ever since then, I was in the hospital for about a year and 4 months. I lost all my hair. I had no hair whatsoever. I couldn't go outside, and if I did go outside, I had to wear a mask because I had no T cells, so I would have gone sick really fast. And if I would have gone sick, I still would not have been here today. And that's pretty much what happened in my story. I lost my leg at the age of 8. I actually had 3 choices along with that one. One of them, they would have taken my knee right here, and they would have taken out the knee and rotated this all the way around, so I had one leg facing this way and the other leg facing this way, just dangling because I had no movement in it, which to me sounds pretty gay, so I was like, no, I'm not going to do that. Or they could have removed my bone from my leg completely and replaced that with another bone, which would have been okay, but the only thing I would be able to do was walk, sit, and swim. And I'm 7 years old. I'm not going to walk, sit, and swim at 7. I'm going to climb, jump, get in trouble, do all sorts of stuff. So I was like, I'm not going to do that either. And the third one was to actually just take off my leg. So I just decided to take off my leg. Yeah. People always ask me, how was the adjustment from having 2 legs to 1 leg? And my simple answer is, I was so young, I didn't know the difference, pretty much. I just wanted to go up there and play and be myself. So whatever opportunity and chance I got, I totally did. So there wasn't a really big difference. Now as I grow older, I do see differences. When I was in 7th and 8th grade, I went through it as a stage where I went through depression because it finally hit me at that time. And I would cut myself because I was different from everyone else and I didn't want to be, so I went through major depression. But then after that, I've just been completely fine with it. That just those 2 years were the only times it actually hit me.